What if I told you that you could still enjoy ice cream, even with type 2 diabetes? I know. That probably sounds too good to be true. Your doctor told you to watch your sugar. Your family keeps saying you can't eat that. And yet here you are, watching this video, hoping, just maybe, that someone will give you a real, honest answer. Well, today is that day. And before this video is over, not only am I going to show you the 5 ice creams that won't spike your blood sugar, I'm also going to warn you about 3 that are secretly far more dangerous than you think. And one of them is marketed as healthy. Stay with me, because that one might shock you. Let's start with something that most people get completely wrong. The idea that people with diabetes can never eat ice cream is outdated. The real question is never, can I eat this? The real question is, what does this do to my blood sugar, and how fast? That's what we call the glycemic impact. And once you understand that, you take back control. You stop guessing. You stop feeling guilty. You start making smart choices that still bring you joy. Here's how your body works. When you eat something with sugar or refined carbohydrates, your blood glucose rises. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin to bring it back down. Now, when you have type 2 diabetes, that system is sluggish. The insulin doesn't respond as quickly or as effectively. So your blood sugar stays elevated longer, and that's where the damage happens. Over time, repeated blood sugar spikes contribute to nerve damage, kidney stress, vision problems, and cardiovascular risk. That's why what you eat matters so deeply. Not just for a number on a glucometer, but for your quality of life for years to come. Now here is the key thing to know about ice cream specifically. Not all ice creams are created equal. Fat actually slows the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. Protein does too. So an ice cream that's rich in fat and protein, but low in sugar can actually have a much gentler effect on blood sugar than, say, a fat-free sorbet, or a sugary popsicle. That's the science. And that's why some full-fat options are actually better for you than the diet versions. We'll come back to that. Let's talk about the 5 best options, and I'm going to walk you through each one so you really understand why it works. The first one is plain, full-fat vanilla ice cream in a small portion. Now before you close this video, hear me out. A half-cup serving of a quality full-fat vanilla ice cream typically contains around 15 grams of carbohydrates. The fat content, usually around 7 to 10 grams, significantly slows digestion and blunts that blood sugar spike. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that full-fat dairy is associated with better metabolic outcomes than low-fat dairy in people with insulin resistance. The key word here is portion. Half a cup. Not the whole pint. And pair it with a small handful of walnuts or almonds. The added fat and protein slow absorption even further. This is not a license to eat a bowl the size of your head, but a reasonable portion of real, full-fat ice cream. That can absolutely have a place in a diabetes-friendly lifestyle. The second best option is Greek yogurt frozen bark or frozen Greek yogurt treats. Many stores now carry frozen Greek yogurt bars, and these are genuinely excellent for blood sugar management. Greek yogurt is high in protein, sometimes 10 to 15 grams per serving, and protein is one of the most powerful tools you have to slow glucose absorption. Look for options with no added fruit syrups, and ideally with less than 15 grams of total carbs per serving. The protein here does double duty, it moderates your blood sugar, and it keeps you feeling full, which helps you stop at one serving instead of reaching for more. The third excellent option is ice cream sweetened with stevia or erythritol. These are natural sugar substitutes that have a glycemic index of essentially 0. Brands like Rebel, Enlightened, and Halo Top use these sweeteners, and some of them contain as few as 5 grams of net carbs per serving. Net carbs, by the way, means total carbohydrates minus fiber and sugar alcohols, the carbs that actually affect your blood sugar. Now, I want to be honest with you here, not everyone's gut tolerates sugar alcohols equally. Some people experience bloating or digestive discomfort. So try a small amount first and see how your body responds. But for most people, these low-carb ice creams are a genuine game changer. The fourth option might surprise you: coconut milk ice cream with no added sugar. Coconut milk is rich in medium-chain triglycerides, a type of fat that is metabolized differently than other fats and has shown promise in supporting insulin sensitivity. Dairy-free coconut milk ice creams, especially those sweetened with monk fruit or stevia, can be wonderfully gentle on blood sugar. They are also an excellent choice for anyone who has digestive sensitivity to dairy. Look for brands where the first ingredient is coconut milk and the sugar content is under 10 grams per serving. The fifth and final best option is a homemade banana-free frozen treat made with avocado, cocoa powder, and a natural sweetener. I know homemade sounds like more work than you want, but this one is remarkably simple and genuinely delicious. Blend together 1 ripe avocado, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons of a sweetener like erythritol or monk fruit, and a splash of almond milk. Freeze it for 2 hours. The result is rich, creamy, chocolatey, and the avocado provides healthy monounsaturated fat that actively supports heart health and blood sugar stability. This is the ice cream that works for you, not against you. Now, here's where we need to slow down and have a serious conversation, because there are 3 ice creams that millions of older adults with diabetes eat every week thinking they are making a safe choice. And they are not. The first dangerous one is sugar-free popsicles and freezer pops. They are everywhere. They are cheap. They say sugar-free right on the package. But many of these products are made with fruit juice concentrate, maltitol, or modified corn starch, all of which can raise blood sugar significantly. Maltitol in particular has a glycemic index of around 35, far higher than erythritol, which is close to 0. And some sugar-free popsicles have 20 or more grams of carbohydrates. Read the label carefully. Sugar-free does not mean carb-free. It does not mean blood sugar safe. This one trips up so many people, and it deserves to be talked about plainly. The second one to avoid is fat-free frozen yogurt from the self-serve machine, the kind at buffet or soft-serve shops. When manufacturers remove the fat from frozen yogurt, they almost always replace it with sugar to maintain the flavor and texture. A single cup of fat-free frozen yogurt can contain 35 to 50 grams of carbohydrates, the equivalent of eating 3 to 4 slices of white bread in one sitting. And because there's no fat to slow the absorption, that sugar hits your bloodstream fast. This is one of the most misleading products in the grocery store or restaurant world. The word yogurt makes it sound healthy. The word fat-free makes it sound like the right choice. But for your blood sugar, it can be genuinely harmful. The third and perhaps most deceptive option is fruit sorbet, especially mango, strawberry, and tropical varieties. Sorbet is made primarily from fruit, water, and sugar. It contains no fat, no protein, and no fiber to slow anything down. A half cup of mango sorbet can contain 30 to 35 grams of pure, rapidly absorbed sugar. And because it's fruit-based, people assume it's a healthy, natural option. But your pancreas doesn't care whether the sugar came from a mango or a candy bar, it still triggers the same response. And for someone with type 2 diabetes, that response is slower and less effective, which means longer-lasting blood sugar elevation. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. Managing blood sugar is not about deprivation. It's about understanding. It's about knowing that full fat can be better than fat-free. That sugar-free is not always safe. That a small, satisfying portion of real ice cream, chosen wisely and paired smartly, is not your enemy. The more you understand how your body processes different foods, the more empowered you become, and the less you have to feel like diabetes has stolen your joy. And now I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of the low-carb ice cream brands we mentioned today? Have you discovered a favorite that works well for your blood sugar? Leave it in the comments below, because this community learns best from each other, and your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who's managing diabetes.